Is there any plan for DE2? Currently, we are having DE1.4, DE1.3. Do you have any plan for future for DE2? Is that in work in progress?
So my problem with even the name DE2 is that it implies lack of compatibility with DE1. It implies a brand new technology and a big change. Okay. So that, first of all, that would just bother me as someone considering the machine, to know that I might be buying something that at some point there's going to be a break, right? It's like going from DOS to Windows, but DOS to Windows had some future compatibility. Let's say, I don't know, Windows to Mac. So I don't know that we're ever going to make ever, but it's going to be at least 10, 15 years before we make a DE2, because if I made a DE2, it would mean we break the skin, we break the profile, a bunch of things change. Instead, I'd
complete new design, right?
Yeah, it's the new machine. It's a big change. Instead, I would rather keep versioning the DE1 and make sure it is always forward compatible, so that almost everything we do will work back to 1.0. Okay. As of 1.3, version 1.3 is when we added the group head controller, and that was the last breaking change, I'd say, in the sense that there's some features on the controller that if you have a 1.0 machine, you can't do. But we made it so that 1.1 people could put the controller on. So only 280 people have a machine that can't move with the current software perfectly.
Okay.
The other thousands are all fine. So there is no DE2 plan. Now, what you're asking me is a different question, maybe, which is, are you planning anything big? Okay. Right now, all we're doing is this 1.4.
Or are you planning anything small?
Yeah. So we're doing this 1.4 machine, and we've done 1.4.1, 1.4.2. We're about to do version 1.4.3, and those are all perfectly compatible versions that just make things a little bit better. At this point, the machine makes very good coffee, and the limiting factor on making coffee is not the machine. It's the recipe, the beans, the grinder, and your own talent. So there's not really anything I can do to the Decent that will make better coffee. The only really small thing would be get you a pump that can do 12 milliliters per second, so you can do that hammering technique that, let's say, the GS3 does. But I don't actually think that that's a great coffee technique. There is a kind of water hammer technique with lever machines that is interesting for people who want to make ultra thick shots. But if they make ultra thick shots, why don't they just get a lever machine? They do that so well. If that's what you're looking to do, why would I make a technical version of something that's already done to perfection? So going back to what we're working on, when I look at the current machine, I look at the sound. I don't like the sound of the pump.
Okay.
And I'd like to fix that. So we're going to, I think it'll probably be next year, switch to a pump that's about 10 decibels quieter from a company called OLab instead of ODE. And that'll be nice. We've looked at dampeners, which are on some Nespresso machines, but they tend to blow up after a few thousand espressos. So that's not great. And the hot water flow for making Americanos, that could be faster. I'd really like that to be faster. So those are the things I'm kind of focusing on. We've just got heaters that can go to 15 amps of power. So the current machine uses 6.5 amps of power. The XXL goes to 9 amps, 9.5 amps. These are 15 amp heaters. So in order for cafes to use this, right, cafes can actually be more likely described as milk bars, because the vast majority of cafes actually serve milk that is flavored with coffee and syrups, and syrups as well, right? But in terms of the ratios, the majority of it is milk with a bit of coffee. And so you have to realize, as someone selling a machine, I have to realize that I need to be able to heat milk up very quickly with very good foam if I'm going to be able to sell this to cafes. So that's something I'm very much focusing on right now. The 15 amp machine, probably end of the year, it'll be the triple XL. But it's an open question as to whether if you make a 20-ounce venti in 20 seconds, is the foam any good? I don't know if it'll be any good.
So.